Hello, I'm Marie-Véronique Bourque, MV Bourque, and I'm a jazz flautist, singer, songwriter. I'm originally from Quebec City and now I live in Regina, Saskatchewan for several years already. Yeah. I got into music at a very early age. I was 4. My dad was a flautist. He was playing with the Quebec Symphony for a few years. My mother was also a violin player, so I was really immersed in music really early, with 8 siblings. At some point, all of us were playing music. So started on violin and then piano, and then switched to the flute, discovered the flute when I was in grade 3 and got in love with it, stick to it. And I studied at the Conservatory of Music in Quebec City, classical music, and discovered jazz only, I think it was about in 2013, 14, that's when I got that first opportunity to play some jazz songs with the French community here in Regina. In my career, where I'm at is, I think, closer to where I want to be than where I was a few years back. I learned so much since that first time I played on stage with Maurice Drouin. He just asked me at that point, well, if you want to play with me, why don't you start today? And he was doing a show, so I ended up going on stage with that first song that came to my head, and we started performing at the Mosaic Festival in front of a big crowd, and I got hooked with that. But at the time, I didn't know how to read jazz chords, how to read what is a G major 7 chord. It didn't ring a bell as a classical musician. So I had to, it took me years just to get to that point of thinking, I don't have the choice. If I want to write my music, I need to learn that. So I learned that about 4 years ago. And that was a huge discovery, to be able to write my own music, write my own chords. I was just thrilled with that. And I took also trainings, jazz trainings, and there's not that many jazz trainings for flute players. So I found one in the States, in California, where I studied with Ali Ryerson. I went there 2 years in a row during summertime to study only with other jazz flautists. That was an extraordinary experience. And then I studied also one summer at Carleton University, another summer at the Ambrose University in Calgary. And so I took like this few trainings, but I'm self-taught mainly. And it's through my experience with others, and I was part of a blues band at some point. I was part of the world music band. So all that experience came together and makes the musician I am today. So it's not just one little thing, and I'm still learning every day on all aspects of the musical career, like the administration of an artist like me. It's so much grant writing, applying for festivals, just putting my music out is a big learning curve, but I think it's worth it because I can do what I want to do. I can do music, and I think the main thing also is that I feel that my music makes people feel good when they hear it, and for me that's that's so important to me to be able to reach people and get sharing who I am.
Il y a longtemps, il y a des lunes, une âme sœur est entrée dans ma vie. Elle et moi ne faisions qu'une, nos voix chantaient en harmonie. Puis la vie a posé un grand silence entre nous. Il y a longtemps, il y a des lunes. J'ai passé des nuits blanches à chasser mes idées noires. Je rêve tout éveillé qu'elle revient m'ensorceler. Excusez-moi, désolé, je dois partir. Pardonnez-moi, c'est assez, je ne peux plus attendre. J'ai rendez-vous avec mon premier amour. Rendez-vous. Il y a longtemps, il y a des lunes, une âme sœur est entrée dans ma vie. Elle et moi ne faisions qu'une, nos voix chantaient en harmonie. La vie a posé un grand silence entre nous. Il y a longtemps, il y a des lunes. J'ai passé des nuits blanches à chasser mes idées noires. Je rêve tout éveillé qu'elle revient m'ensorceler. Excusez-moi, désolé, je dois partir. Pardonnez-moi, c'est assez, je ne peux plus attendre. J'ai rendez-vous avec mon premier amour. Rendez-vous avec ma musique.
So the first song I did is called Excusez-moi. And it's a song that talks about my first love, my music that I met years ago when I was 4 years old. And then I had to put it aside for my career in the RCMP. So I was an RCMP officer for 25 years. And what I was missing my music so much during that time, I just wanted to get back at it, play again, and that's why I finally retired. So that song is just about my first love. So I brought that music to Michelle Grégoire, who was a fantastic arranger, and she reworked the song with me. So it sounds like you heard it. You can hear it now today. In terms of aspirations, I'd like to be able to reach a wider audience, especially in the jazz world. So I would like to be able to reach market in France. I did a small tour in France in 2017. I joined other musicians who were performing and played with them and enjoyed it so very much. So now I have few connections out there, so I would like to go back to France. I've been invited actually to go to the Canadian Cultural House in Paris to perform. So just waiting after COVID to be able to go there. And I have aspirations to go back to the UK. I've been invited there as well. I went there, I recorded an album out there with other artists, so I want to go back to the UK. And yeah, get also in Canada here. I want to be heard, not only in Saskatchewan, but also in other provinces. Being a francophone artist in Saskatchewan, I think it's a gift. There's so many Anglophones who still like French, speak French. I'm always surprised, doesn't matter where I go, to see how many school immersions we have here in Saskatchewan. So I'm glad that more people can understand when I'm singing in French. And that's what I'm doing for the first time in my next album, singing myself some songs in French, in English as well, giving the opportunity to people to listen to two versions of that same song and maybe try in French first and then switch to English. So I feel that I've been really welcome here in Saskatchewan. We have also the Conseil Culturel Francescois, which is a resource for francophone artists. So they helped me on several projects that I had, and again for my next album. So it's really good to have that opportunity to share our concerns and talk about sometimes terminology and topics that are difficult to fully understand in a second language, and that you can better understand in your own language. Mm-hmm. So I'm inspired by events, by people surrounding me. I realized that I have roots in Quebec, I have roots in Saskatchewan, and different things, really different themes inspire me, music, about those two places more than anything else. Also, I'm inspired by life itself. I'm a really positive person, and for me, I will never, I can't say never, but I have a tendency not to write depressing songs, but more uplifting songs or things that are really deep to my heart. So that's what inspires me. I never sit in front of a sheet of music and say, okay, I want to write music. What can be my topic of the day? The topic will come to itself. I don't decide. I let it just come whenever it comes, and same for melodies.
Parfois, on a juste besoin d'un petit. La toilette débouchée, tuyau d'égout percé. Pas de salle ni mobile, ni de voisins en ville. Il faut se retenir ou laisser sortir un petit. Parfois, on a vraiment besoin d'un petit. Il faut serrer les fesses, l'estomac en détresse. Situation précaire dans un rendez-vous d'affaires. Il faut juste un gaz mignon, juste un gaz nauséabond pour mettre un doux sourire sur ton visage. Sometimes all you need is a little touch. When all you needed to do cannot go down the pipe, the sewer line is blocked, public washrooms are locked. You gotta hold it or release a friendly little. Sometimes all you need is a little. You go through so much stress, your stomach in distress, a meeting with your boss, and your life is at a loss. Just a friendly little fight, just a stinky little fight to light up your face with a smile.
Le Petit Gaz, in English, the little fart, is a song that was inspired by, well, we had sewer issues at my place during COVID. We had to dig in the basement, remove the flooring, everything to change the sewer pipes. And during COVID, I didn't have any friends who were interested in having me to go to use their washrooms, couldn't go to public washrooms, and so we were stuck with a little portable little toilet in the house for a few days. So yeah, all that inspired me really. And what is more universal than farting? I'm sorry, but yes, I believe that everybody farts at some point. Let it go, sometimes silently, sometimes with little smell with it, but so be it. It's part of life. My songwriting process is a little different for every single song I wrote. I have one in mind that I wrote a few years ago, and it was for a deadline. I just realized, I think 2 days before, that if I want to submit songs, it couldn't be covered songs, it had to be original songs. And I was thinking, can I make it? Can I make it? So I sat in my basement with my recorder and I started doing little snippets of ideas on my flute, maybe 30 seconds, 20 seconds. And so I did about 30 little shots like that. Then I listened to them and I wrote down the ones that were talking to me a little bit more than others. And then I did a cut and paste with Scotch tape, found a main theme, and then added those little snippets of songs. So that was, yeah, I did that once. And some of the times I'm just gonna sit on the piano and start playing. And I'm not a pianist, but it feels that I need to have chords or kind of a groove to be able to get from there. So quite often it's on the piano that I start writing, and I'm gonna tape with my cell phone. And again, start from that idea and then expand later on, and then take a piece of paper. A few years back, I wrote my song En d'éphémère, that is on my first album. On the kitchen counter in Ottawa, my daughter was sick. I was there with her for 5 weeks in Ottawa, staying at my sister. And that's where I wrote that song on a little piece of paper. And yeah, every song is different. Every song comes. Sometimes I just let them go because they're not good. There is one that I started writing. It will probably take maybe a year or two prior to being able to finish the lyrics. I'm stuck with the lyrics. But so be it. That's the fun songwriting process. An advice I would give to somebody starting in music is don't try to do everything at once. We need to seek advice ask other musicians, ask professionals, take it one step at a time, which is not what I've been doing since the beginning. I feel that I need to achieve everything in one day, which is not the case. We're still going to advance, we're still going to learn, so it's to take the time and surround ourselves with the best people to help us. And if you feel that some people don't want to hear about you, don't keep knocking at that same door. Go to that door that is open to you. People will welcome you. You'll be way more happy and advance way more this way. So what's next for me? A lot. I have 2 albums that are gonna be released in 2021. The first one is an EP called Entre Québec and Saskatchewan, and it's been recorded partially in Saskatchewan and partially in Quebec. And it talks about, yes, how difficult it is to have your own identity when you're from 2 places. Where do you fit in that? And I plan on going back to the UK, to going to France, and everywhere people will be interested by my music.